for tapping in. Thank you for enjoying your sweetest moments with me, Merging Timelines. Today we have a special guest, Crystal K.
Hey there, Starlights. How are you?
So we're gonna go ahead and enjoy this good food with you.
Yes.
Have some good conversation about what's going on, what we're feeling, hoping that you can connect with us. Hold on, let me fix that. It's a little tilted.
Yeah.
Good?
Yes.
Better? Okay.
Perfect. Yes. So today has absolutely been a beautiful day today. It's been really, really calm, really sunny, really bright. Even when I got up this morning, we were running behind. It was also cold. It was cool, but it wasn't much. I felt really good waking up today.
Exactly. Today has been the best day all week for me. I was so sleepy the last 3 days going through this solar eclipse. I know that you're supposed to push through the dark energy, but I fell to sleep. So I'll be honest, I slept through most of it.
Mine, I worked a lot. I worked really long hours all week, and I felt kind of confounded in some areas. Like, nope, we're going to make the best of things. We're going to uplift our heads, and we're going to push, and we're going to keep going.
Right.
That's kind of how everything's been all week. So it felt good.
Feels good. And for those of you who don't know, we're in Florida, so it's very sunny here, very nice weather.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and get into this good food.
Yes.
First, we're going to, let's set the energy after. We'll clear the energy once we eat, chat it up with you a little bit, and then we'll do a collective reading.
Yeah, perfect.
So Kayla's going to introduce us to what we're chowing on today.
So we actually went to a place called Fifth Element. It's an Indian place. I ordered 7 different dishes. So I ordered naan bread, roti, and then we have some veggie samosas. We have the mixed tandoor here. It has shrimp, it has chicken. There's so many different things that's grilled with some vegetables. And then I have, I believe it's the Nazar Mahor. It's vegetables and a spicy cream sauce with white rice to go with it. And then I have also gotten some rice pudding. And then it's called a mango lassi for if it's a little too spicy.
My favorite.
So excited, yes. Loves the roti.
Roti.
Yes, rotis are so good.
Okay.
There's so many different sauces too.
All right, so pass over these.
Yes, and they do give us sauce. I think the green sauce that you like so much is right here.
Yay.
It's minty. It's
Refreshing.
really refreshing.
Oh my gosh.
It goes so well with everything.
So that's 2 rices. We can just dig out one.
Yeah.
So you've got so much food for us today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Kayla helps me get through my darkest of darkest times within being a reader, or any, like, on your spiritual journey, as those of you who are on this journey too know that it can be very, very lonely.
Yes.
The world judges those that, what it doesn't understand.
Exactly.
And so a lot of us end up doing this journey alone until we're until we're blessed enough to come into contact with like-minded souls. And I think that's a part of the journey, is just kind of deciphering between who you know from your past, because they're within some sort of your paradigm, and then those of you who realize that, okay, so even though we're in this paradigm, to unfold the paradigm, you kind of have to get out of that, get into your own space, work through your own shadows, and then as you're working through shadows, you come into contact with like-minded souls. And that's kind of how it's worked for me. And so Kay does crystals. She started with crystals, absolutely love going to our favorite store, Midnight Sun.
Yes, and previous to that, there was a beading store. So I would actually design jewelry at first until I started to learn how to make them myself. I absolutely love working with crystals. So what my energy-based theme is with crystals is I'm actually around individuals and I sense the things that's needed for them. So I would make a custom piece for you that is indicative to the energy of what you need, healing within self, understanding within self, and uplifting within self. Because yes, it's something that we've all gone through, the lonely and frustrating and sad moments of life, unsure about, you know, where to go and what to do. So getting out of your comfort zone is a very hard thing, especially when you want to shelter yourself and keep yourself safe. Sometimes you have to step out on that leap of faith and say, okay, I'm not this person from a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. You have to change your own circle. You have to allow that consistent flow in life to come in, so the people that you've outgrown can go ahead and go on their way. And then in that same construct, you're meeting individuals to help you learn, because you have core people that are meant to stay into your life for a lifetime. You have people that you're here for learning with, and then you have those that are seasonals. We're not going to stay in someone's life forever. And that's one thing that, especially in our spiritual journey, there are so many of us that have not branched out to those that are closer together in our unit, in our type of life that we live, because so many of us, we're either fighting the demons that we've already been through, or have people attempting to tear you down because they just don't understand the things that you're doing. It's like, guys, you gotta branch out. We have to go. We have to grow. We're more than what we were taught to be as we were younger. We're more than that. So since we're more than that, we have to grow to our supreme self, our higher self. And that's not that childlike, that's a page. We're no longer a page. We're kings and queens here. We're empresses and emperors.
Gods and goddesses.
Gods and goddesses here. There we go. Go ahead and get some of this.
So, with that, I feel like a lot of the trouble with going through the journey by yourself is you're like going back in your mind, am I going crazy? Is this really happening?
Oh.
Is this real? You know, because and the reason for that is like you're embodying the fears of the collective, right? So at sometimes you can stand firm in what you believe and what you think individually, but then when you share it with someone who's not on the same wave, and that's what happens, right? We share it with someone who we feel familiar with, and we want them to be able to hold this space for us because they should know us. But unfortunately, the path wasn't chosen for everyone. So there's certain select fews of us, and we're dispersed, right? So one in every almost household, right, is going to be enlightened first so that you could learn how to heal yourself and then take it back to your tribe, you know? Take it back home eventually after you bond with like-minded souls, become very, very empowered in what you're doing, because when you're doing it independently, there's a lot of not just fears, but there's a lot of resistance, because people have become very comfortable. People are very happy with the way they're living right now, you know, because it's comfortable. And unfortunately, we kind of minimize our abilities to adapt. We're very adaptable beings. It's just that we kind of silence that ability with what we fear we're not going to have, right? And so we're here for expansion. We're here once every other, we reincarnate, for those of you have different belief systems, but everyone's kind of merging. So reincarnating to live, to get to this point of enlightenment where you can hold this timeline of the next world, and we are raising the frequency of this planet to bring the new world here. And so a lot of us are already there in the 5D, but then a lot of us are still in the 3D, and what merges us too is the dream state, the 4D, right?
That's
really good.
Yes, it's really, really good. I love the sauce on this one. It's actually stunning.
Oh, I haven't tried it yet.
I'm gonna try the shrimp that's over there. So good. But when we're connecting and tapping into that 5D realm on our way to ascend higher, we do have to take some time individually to understand ourselves, our paths, and the way that we're supposed to move. However, just like anyone, we all need a teacher. We need someone to help us through. And it's not so I need to be taught how to do this. You would go by senses and feelings, because your ascending masters are the ones that teaches you, but they will put in place those that are meant to come into your life to help you grow, to help bring understanding to said journey, because we're all in this together. We're truthfully never alone in any of the things that we do. So we have to allow ourselves to push and go further.
Okay.
Oh my God.
This is really good. This is like very bold.
I like both flavors.
So those of you who don't know, I'm an Aquarius and Kayla is a Leo. And I run into so many Leos. It makes no sense. I feel like we're oppositional, right? Within our personalities. Leos are very bold and confident. Don't mind being seen. It's not like you like to steal the attention. You're just naturally effortless in that aspect of if they see me, they see me. Where I'm on the opposite side. I'm more of an overthinker, not really liking to be in the spotlight, but learning to get comfortable. So again, merging the two, somewhere in between.
Yes.
We're getting there.
And I think that especially with how we are, that bold, fiery, feisty side that I can give, just like the sun card. The sun is literally right there. You have no choice but to see it, but you see it or you don't. Just like when the sun rises, we don't have someone applauding the sun rising every single day, but we're grateful that it rises. So therefore, when we go into our own sense of self, we open up that confidence within self. Ooh, thank you, my dear. Love water.
I always see us as Doctor Strange and Iron Man. Right? So the two of them, like the overthinker and the showy personnel, like I feel that is very appropriate.
I definitely can agree on that one. But the thing of it is, even with both characters, there's a lot of selflessness that they carry when they love and they push within self. And Tony Stark, Jesus, he's a showboat. I will never say no. But
who we are in this life.
But he is one that is there to help build and grow within self and learn and create within others. So that's something that I feel that we should all be working on and doing and growing within self. That's beautiful. I finally figured out what the beans are in here. They're lima beans.
Really?
I love lima beans.
Everything is so good. I'm surprised we haven't even gotten the roti yet.
I'm gonna get it out. I promise. It's just
I
was so
Let's
stuck
open
in
one first.
Well, one's roti and one's non-bread. So this one, I believe, is roti, and that might be the non-bread.
Right.
And they got garlic naan. I love non-bread. So good.
Yeah.
Non-bread.
You want that one first?
Yes. I know you love your roti.
I do.
Oh my gosh, it smells heavenly.
By the way, we're hoping a lot of you are having a great day. We know that most of you may be at work. If you're watching us during work, you're a real one.
I'm telling you.
If you're watching us after work, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
If you're watching us on your lunch break, thank you just for coming in. Thank you for each person that's just coming in. Hi everyone, hi world, wherever you are in the world. We'll be doing this every Friday. Each Friday, we'll be coming together to enjoy and fellowship, and then of course do readings.
Wow.
This is really good.
I just died. It's so good.
Girl,
It is so good. I just died. Woo!
this is the one thing I want to try, the samosas. I want to try that, but I gotta get one more bite.
I mean, I'm really liking the spice out of that. Woo.
Spicy but worth it. So this one's the vegetable samosa. It's like a dumpling.
Yeah.
And it has potato, it has onion, and it has green peas, she said. So, I'm gonna try.
Wow. I'm so ready to get into this collective reading today. Because we're going to be doing a card reading for you after we finish. and just kind of bringing up what's in the overall energy for a majority of the collective that's needing to hear clarity the most. And so I'm excited for that.
I'm very excited. I wonder what's gonna come up. One thing I like to do when I do my readings now, there's a deck that I use called the Good Tarot, and that deck is not completely the same as regular Rider-Waite decks, but it has a really good affirmation that goes with it. So not only do I pull the card or cards, even if it's more than one that comes out, I'll speak on the message from said card, but then I'll go into the book and read the affirmation. And it's kind of like an affirmation of the day. And it always hones in some way for someone. It's stunning.
So let's talk about what got us into tarot, how we even stumbled upon our journeys. For those of you who are still kind of wondering,
What happened?
what happened? I mean, like, some of you know us, some of you don't know us from a while. And so, what's the cause of all this change? You want to go first?
Okay.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
Sorry, no, I was eating. So, personally for myself, I lived with a lot of worry and worry about self, not understanding myself, knowing that I'm different from everyone that's around me, but learning to accept and appreciate who I am. So in doing that same thing, I had to really take a look in myself and say, do you really love you? Do you really understand you? And thank God I was blessed to have such an amazing family that I was born into and married into. So they helped me in a lot of different ways to help me understand. But in the same thing, we didn't ascend on the same platforms in certain areas. So I went through a really messy divorce a few years back, and I completely lost who I was. I was the typical yes woman to answer to everything just to combat confrontation, losing the fiery, feisty person that I once was. So
The Leo.
The true Leo, because my moon sign is Virgo, and I was kind of like the dormant, docile Virgo, the scared one, the overthinking, and constantly negative. I let that side of Virgo take over me, and I just shut down. So my mother-in-law, she was speaking to me several times about, spiritual journeys, things like that. And of course, me growing up in a household that was constantly going to church with my grandmother, I didn't listen. I was scared to. I was told that it's evil. I'm like, okay. It was just one day I broke and I just couldn't take anymore. And I asked God, I'm like, if there's something for me, let it come from me that is uplifting, because I can't take this anymore. And she came to me and she gave me a handful of crystals. They were aquamarine, amethyst, two rose quartz, and a clear quartz. I remember those. And they help with the balance. That's where my crystal side come in, because I was kind of like going with the motions. I was in a really bad depression. So one day I went over to Riverside. She kept saying, go over there, go to the crystal shop. And I was just lost one day. I had a day off and I had nothing to do. So I just went for a walk. And to me, it's like a ley line in that area, because I felt to be able to breathe again. I felt myself again. I felt centered again. And I didn't want to leave. And I stayed there for hours because I finally felt some sense of normality. Mm-hmm. That's when I went into the crystal shop next to the stone shop that my mother-in-law introduced me to, and I made my first bracelet there. That's where my journey started, and I only want to move in positivity and love and light, because holding on to negative just brings you down. And I had to go through a lot of shadow work and go through a lot of past hurt and pain that I was holding on to, and I was obsessing over, wondering why. No, I needed to be a stronger person. because with being a stronger person, a stronger in mind and spirit, I can also help those that are along their journey, because I'm still in mine. That's why my account is called Crystal K's Journey. It's a journey that we're always going through, something that doesn't end. We keep going. So that's where I am now.
Nice.
And what about you?
Okay, first, let me get a napkin. I made a mess. Like stuffing my face as you're reading.
This is so good. This is really, really
Food is
good.
so good. I really took advantage of the fact that I made you go first.
Good. Enjoy. Move on.
All right, so basically, how I became or came upon my awakening is that I met God through the one thing that I asked for, right? So if I was being completely accountable of Mel and what Mel's relationship looked like with Source and the infinite intelligence, universe, whatever you're comfortable referring to, but the creator, if I was fully accountable of what I asked him for a son. Okay, and so the reason why I asked for a son is because my highest expression of love came from my mom and brother's relationship, right? I didn't get to see my parents interact that much because unfortunately in society, we spend more time at work than we do at home. And so that love shared was not the strongest expression of love for me. So when I finally had my son, I remember I was seeing a therapist at the time, and I just, on my first session, I kind of looked up and I said, without even realizing, that I was extremely grateful for where I was today and that relationship I felt with them, with Source, because my heart naturally opened up. We say it's our heart chakra, but it was so open to the point where you could drop like a penny and feel it at the bottom. That's how open I felt at that point, because I expressed so much gratitude from a very sincere part of my soul. So basically that started my journey, and then I eventually picked up cards because I'd always gone to card readers. It's something that I was never afraid of. I just really enjoyed like the mystical aspect of, ooh, what do they know, or what are they gonna tell me today? Or I had a karmic cycle that I kept going into, and that cycle kind of introduced me to it, as well as I would reach out to them out of desperation of being in very, very low places, not knowing what to do next, clinging on to other people as validation of my existence. But like I said, once I had chanting, it stopped. Everything outside of me, the search for someone outside of me stopped, and then the search for the inside of me started. I think the reason why was because I realized that I was 110 responsible for the soul that I asked to incarnate here. And so I knew what life felt like prior to me having him, and how much life he gave me in having him, that I had to make sure that I found a way to make his life the best. And so I find that when I go deeper and deeper within my shadow self, finding cards, reading for others, because I'm extremely empathic, extremely intuitive. I'm also on the twin flame journey, for those of you who are familiar. It is finding the divine masculine, divine feminine, merging into one. The idea is that you and another person share the same soul, but in two different bodies, right? And you're like polar opposites. You're on one end, they're on the other end, right? And then somewhere in between, you both are like each other's yin and yang. Like you blend perfectly, right? Your strength is their weakness is your strength. And so going through this journey has been a little rough, right? Because you constantly have to bring back to center. Even if you have a slightest idea of who you think it could be, it's never about the external you and more about the internal you. And the more that you chase something external, the more that person or yourself runs into that dynamic that we're most familiar with, the runner and the chaser, right? So that's been my journey so far as the awakening, and reading tarot for the moment, hoping to incorporate the violin and the harp next, as I like to do music therapy. I sing, I write, and so those are things that I'm hoping to capture in my highest timelines of this life.
Yes,
right.
That's something especially. Music itself is absolutely stunning.
Healing.
And it's very healing.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps us in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if I feel so low and I can't really comprehend what's going on in my path at present, I'll turn on some music and I'll start to dance, because that will help heal and invigorate the base chakra. Base chakra is here. It's in the 3D. It's going to help you with security. It's going to help you ground. It's going to help you uplift. I will literally put some headphones in, turn the stereo on, something, go dance in the house, dance in the car, dance in the park, don't care. Constantly dancing, because I know that, especially with going through this time, I'm still single, and I had people that, of course, I've spoken with, but it just didn't work. But it also was a lesson in the same standpoint. It's something where I got to grow and understand myself, or understand life, or understand different phases, because I know there's certain things that I can tolerate and cannot tolerate, especially with being around too many different vibrations. That doesn't work for me. And I work in the food service industry, so I'm around a lot of people all day long. So when I get home, I have to have a very small network of people that I can be around, which are my children. I have two. I have a little girl and a little boy. And
Perfect.
that's about it. And they know how to work around how I'm feeling. There's a lot of, like, I'm just in a lot of pain, I'm sore, and just sit down. And they'll just know, Mommy, come here. We're going to sit right here. We're going to have fun. I'm like, that works for me.
Mm-hmm.
That works just fine for me, because my son and I, we watched Harry Potter for the last 2 days.
So
when we have
They're obsessed with Harry Potter.
I love
Obsessed.
Harry Potter.
Shout out to the Harry Potter fans. She's obsessed.
Ravenclaw in the house.
It's an issue.
Full issue. Full issue. I'll admit it. But
no judgment.
that's
We're
how
Marvel
our
over
bond,
here.
that's how our bond goes and flows. He is obsessed with Pokemon. Who remembers Beyblade? Beyblade. And Pokemon still has new episodes coming out, new seasons.
Mm-mm.
It came out in, 2000?
No,
and it's
ma'am.
still going.
Stop.
I'm like,
Oh my gosh,
How
I didn't
many
even see the line. Okay, I need to stop eating because we need to eat dessert. I'm not gonna have any room. Thought about it, didn't you?
no.
No, you're gonna make it good.
I'm going to eat, and I'm enjoying it.
Just reading today.
Oh
we'll
my
be on
God.
a full stomach.
Yes, but we're
But
going
we
to need
get
all
through
that
it.
energy. We're going to need all that power and energy.
You're
I
right.
can feel
You're
it.
right. You're always right.
Because this does not make me tired. This is the one thing. This is it's very filling, but it's not heavy to where I have the itis and I'm sleepy. This is something really, really good, and I'm ready because I'm feeling these high vibrations.
Okay, I'm riding off her energy today.
Come on.
Because I have been sleepy. Sleeping like a bear the last few days.
Girl, I wish I could. I barely sleep as it is, so it's okay. A little bit more rice.
I do thrive off of sleep. I do get sleep, you know. But I really just need like 4 hours, but like 2 sets of 4 hours. I like to dive it.
See me?
Some in the day, some in the night.
I can do 4 to 6 each day, but at least one day of the week, I want to sit down and just sleep. And I mean a full rested sleep. I would love that. It doesn't always happen, but what it does. Remember the meme from a couple years back? It's like, I don't sleep often, but when I do it right. I love it. There's one that he said, I don't watch scary movies, but when I do, I watch princess movies all night. I cannot do scary movies at all.
Mm-mm.
I cannot. But I feel those vibrations.
Says the empath, I swear.
I feel everything.
Woo.
And it actually comes to my house, and I'm like, no. And a lot of people say, "Oh, you're so scary. You're so scary." I mean, you can say that. You can say that.
No, let the music start and I'm done. The creepy music start and that's it. I'm
Okay,
done. I'm
it's
behind the
different
couch. Girl, I hide. I'm dead serious. Full grown and hiding because I'm not. I cannot. I feel it and I'm like, ooh, no.
Yeah, I definitely
No.
feel it. I can't, even with like some of the simplistic ones, there's 2 movies I can watch that are scary movies, but I have to watch them when I feel like it. And I'm okay with it. One's called Cry Wolf and the other one's Scream 4. I can watch those 2, no problem. The other ones, no.
And me, 0. I will not partake in nothing scary.
The only reason I can watch Scream 4 is because Emma Roberts in it and I find it hilarious.
Hold on,
That is horrible.
Wow.
That is horrible. But with her being in it, I find it hilarious. I'm like,
so I had an internal joke that
oh
a lot of people are gonna be laughing at the fact that 2 tarot readers are scared
and proud.
Where do they do that at? They're like, don't you read in the dark? I'm not scared of the dark, sir.
At all. No, the dark is fine. Come on. And it's like, everyone's like, what about spirits? What about this? I'm like, okay, run up. I'll be the one that will.
Spirits. We have a grand time with the spirits. We're actually more comfortable with spirits than people. That's the harsh fact.
Okay, I just stopped working for Hilton. Hilton that I worked in was a 10-story hotel. And this hotel, I was the night auditor, so I was the only one there. The only one there, except for security, who was sitting in his office in a different department. I felt so many spirits walking around that building, even if I had to run up to a floor to, say, drop off towels. I would feel and sense them. I had a couple of them, like, okay, I can't hear you. I can't hear them, but I can feel them around me, and I sometimes can sense what they're looking for. I'm like, if you're lonely and bored, can you just sit next to me? Because one would call the phone. One literally would call the phone from a hotel room. He just picked different ones daily. So I'll be coming into work and the running jokes like, hey, your friend's calling again. They've been calling all day. Aww. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I pick up the phone like, hello, this is Kay at the front desk. And silence. No one's there, but the phone's ringing. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be here all night. If you're bored, just come downstairs and sit with me. And the phone stopped the whole night because he left the room and he came and sat next to me. And I'm like, I'm perfectly fine with it. Now, if you're a bad spirit, you don't want to smoke. I'm highly protected. You don't want to smoke. You don't. Somebody tried that on my other platform. I was a host on the app Bigo, and someone tried to come through that live at me. I'm like, baby, this ain't what you want.
So while we're talking about jobs, I quit my 9 to 5 or 8 to 4:30, should I say, back in the end of October, for multiple reasons actually, but the most important reason is for myself. I wanted to manifest my own business, do more of this reading because I feel like it's my soul's calling, and so I picked myself over those that I seek validation from. I think in society, it is like alert behavior to always seek the validation from something external, especially from the time that you come into the portal, right? Like from the time we come in, we're in someone else's womb, right? So our first expression of love comes from our mother and we constantly seek her validation, right? And then we get into the school systems and that's the next form of validation that we're seeking. We're seeking, oh my goodness, the chat is just,
oh my God.
I have this family chat that is like really
what is going
blowing
on
up
here? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That'll be fine.
So I think that a lot of it, that external validation comes from like how we enter in, right? But then we're forced to see ourselves individually, which is a constant battle because people will make you feel guilty for seeing yourself first, right? Because in society, especially with COVID, okay? Especially with COVID, people are training people to be more sensitive to others and the way they feel as opposed to how you feel. So people are afraid to cough, people are afraid to sneeze, people are afraid to have natural signs and symptoms because they have to make sure they don't offend their neighbor. So in saying that, I decided to quit my job. Another few reasons, density. Okay, can I tell you that my last job, I was carrying the 10 of wands with that job because literally I was playing 3 different roles. I was the staffer, but then if somebody called out, I'd be the one filling the shift. I'd go to the shift, and then I'd be the one trying to get myself to return back to the office, and then do it all over again the next day. And I was on call. On call would be from 6 a.m. to 10:30. We were trying to onboard new people, but, and this is going to bring another topic, onboarding new people is very dependent on leadership. My wonderful friend here pointed out a fact to me that people do not quit their jobs, they quit their bosses. Okay? And so our bosses become less and less sensitive. As you notice, you walk in the door for the job and they're giving you all the pros. I mean, no cons, of course not, no cons. There's no better place you'd rather be, right? So they're giving you PTO, they're giving you, vacation time. They're giving you, these are the hours you like. They're making sure they sell it from day one. But then after that, it's like your relationship gets smaller and smaller and smaller because they've already got you there. And they know that you need your income and you need to survive. And they keep you coming back because they give you just enough so that you return on Monday, okay? And so my last job included me also managing client care and caregivers who would arrive to the home. We were a private home health and private duty staffing. So we would staff homes with PT, OT, CNA, HHA, companions. So that's what we were doing, providing in-home care. And basically, we would have all types of conflicts we'd have to troubleshoot. Your client is not happy with the caregiver's performance, so then you have to find a way to take the client's complaint and kind of give it to your caregiver. But as you know, you want to give her some positive information, and then you give her negative constructive criticism that says, hey, you're doing a grand job, but you can do a little bit better. And we're working with a group of independent contractors. So these people could decide the next day that they just don't like what I said and just didn't show up the next day, So it was a very high stress level job. And so with all of those things together, I think it just really naturally showed me what I could handle, We were in management, and I'm grateful to my employer, very grateful for the fact that I had that opportunity to empower myself, to see just how much I could effectively do and how many lives that I could change, because I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now for myself with merging timelines and just making sure that, I'm sorry, I'm blind and we can't see the comments.
I didn't see the person's name that popped. I'm so sorry.
Sorry about that, but hi, we're so happy that you're here. Basically, that's what it was about. That whole struggle was not personal. It wasn't like intentional, I think. It was more about my personal development, stepping into my higher self. And the divine will find all types of ways, creative ways, to make sure you get to where you're going, right?
And that's where, with me starting my channel, I had to get out of the realm of fear. Fear holds so many people back. When you have so many creative standpoints and so many things, a lot of people hold back. Well, this is already being done, but it's not you. You have to look at life and the gifts that you have been blessed with, the gifts that you've been given. And it's like, I know how to do this. I've been doing this for years, but I'm thinking of turning it into a business, but I don't know how to make it a business that's going to be different from the others. The difference is you. You don't have to copy what you see. You do what you feel. You do what you like, because that is going to be the truth. That's how you manifest. You speak life into what you're doing. You bring positivity into what you're doing, and you're saying, hey, I want this. I want this so bad that I'm going to fight for this. So here, our lovely Merging Timelines, she's a tarot reader. She sings. She plays the violin. She's learning to play the harp. She's an excellent person, great person to talk to. So she's making a brand of herself. She's building. She's entrusting in herself. As is myself, I left a hotel job to work in a restaurant. I love cooking. I love cooking. Not only that, I read tarot. I make crystal jewelry. I make bath salts. Within my first 2 weeks of working at this restaurant, I made 4 different care packages, 2 for friends and 2 for one of the chefs in there for him and his wife because he needed a spa day. And these are natural organic products that you can use and just have for a day for yourself. Just
put the tea on.
So for within yourself, if it's something that if you're called to do, stop being afraid. You speak life to it. You express your gratitude. You push forward. You be thankful for it, and know that greatness is coming to you because this is what is decreed by Spirit. This is what's decreed by the Almighty. If this is a gift that was supposed to be coming towards you, you take it with gratitude, not with a grain of salt. You take it, hone it, and keep it going.
That's right. Don't expect others to see your vision before you do, because that's you connecting with your 4D self. Remember, we talked about the difference between the 5D, the 3D, what merges between the two is you holding your vision independently within your dream state. That's what the 4D is about, your dream state. And then having faith enough in yourself to bring that to the world, because Spirit is like, they don't pick favorites, okay? They just pick a vessel that they think is going to follow through with the task that they have at hand. And if you don't troubleshoot that idea floats off to the next person.
Exactly.
Because they're trying to find the vessel that is going to put out what they want the world to experience, because we're going to expand one way or another, through you, through myself, through us as a collective. So we're just channeled with bravery and stepping out, not seeking the validation of everyone around us, but knowing that before we went to go see our employer today, before we went to go see mom and dad this weekend, or grandma, that the divine woke us up. They woke us up and they gave us the simple thing that we forget every day, breath, right? And that breath in itself was every bit of opportunity that we needed and fully being ourselves, right? Fully being ourselves.
Exactly. Sorry, y'all.
Sorry.
So good. But with the learning our path, learning life, learning what we're supposed to be doing, you have to have that trust and reliance in the Almighty just to flow. Because they're going to put things up for your intuitive self to feel before it even comes to you. You'll just know. You'll have that deeper sense of knowing, saying, I'm going on the right path. I'm going where I'm supposed to be. I know without a shadow of a doubt, so I'm not afraid. Why be afraid? You've been blessed with a gift. Follow through with it.
Believe in yourself. That's like the highest, what is it? The signs that we have are Pisces, right? Our 12th sign, which means that they're the most mature, also the most sensitive, right? And sensitivity is the gift of this world.
But the level of understanding and inner knowing, especially with Pisces, there being a water sign, there's someone that you can truly talk to constantly. And it's not like you're talking to somebody of the age of what they are. Time and space mean nothing. They're the grandfather sign, so therefore they're the sign that's the most understanding. And you can have this full out mature conversation regardless of where things are in this world, and it's just absolutely amazing. My sister's best friend is a Pisces.
I love Pisces. It's my favorite sign. If Mel had a favorite sign, it would definitely be Pisces.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen that on the videos, that I have a special place for Pisces. But I admire their sensitivity, their feminine energy, because for a lot of you masculine Pisces, I understand that you kind of developed the reputation of being like the softest male, right? But it is also a strength of yours. You know, please know that it is a strength, that you're very, very sensitive, that you pick up on the smallest the smallest things. Because I was gonna say, one thing I noticed about Pisces is that they love feet. Like they have, did you know this? You did not know this.
No. What?
So I confirmed it. Don't Pisces jump in the comment box to be rude. Okay, I've confirmed it with at least 3 Pisces that, maybe 4, I would like to argue 4, okay, that they have this weird obsession with feet. But hold on a minute. Let me tell you why. Pisces apparently have this ability to have the most appreciation for the most unrespected parts of our bodies, right? The undervalued but most utilized aspects of ourselves. Like they love everything, like everything that you would say, oh my gosh, I'm so like, don't look at me or don't look at this. They appreciate that. They appreciate it.
Okay, I actually had a Pisces that wanted like cuddle and hugs, like they were like paying attention to my back. I'm like, my back? My back. But I
love Pisces, okay? I love Pisces.
No, my former coworker and supervisor are both Pisces, male and female. Absolutely love them, and they're some of the realest people to speak with, especially when you're going through some things, because their sense of understanding, their way of thinking is completely different from most people. So it's like, wow, I wouldn't have thought of that. But yeah, this is, it's so different. Their mindsets and their water, all emotions, love.
And mutable. So the tricky part of them, right? The tricky part of all mutables, let me say first, all mutables is the fact that they adapt to change in the way the divine just loves. Because that's what we're here for, expansion, right? So what makes them so adaptable is the fact that they start with the intention of being satisfied. Like they will satisfy as long as they're being satisfied. And I'm speaking for Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces, and Geminis, okay?
Virgo specifically. I already know that.
Four signs that represent the baby aspects of our elements, but those signs literally operate in that way, as opposed to us, right? The Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio, right? We're fixed. We're either doing it or we're not doing it. We're either all in or we're all out.
And I had to think about that. I'm like,
yeah.
Really?
Yes.
But yeah, no,
really.
I definitely understand.
Either all in or all out, period. Okay?
There is no in between.
There's no in between. Absolutely no in betweens with it. So, what I will say though, right in between, because we have to shed some light on our cardinals now that we are, we're creating the polarity. So right in between are those of us who like to have this wooing aspect to us. Like they love to be just ooh la la, right? They like to say, and we're talking about Cancer, we're talking about Capricorn, we're talking about Libra, thank you.
Aries.
And Aries. Those are our queen's energy, right? Meaning that they love when a person just makes them feel so appreciated, you know? That's right in between. Right in between the I'm in or in not, and I'm only doing because I want to is right in between. Just make me feel appreciated, right? Just make me feel appreciated.
That's why the Libras are definitely the 2 of Swords, because boy, yeah. The back and forth of the Libras. Now I love a Libra, do not get me wrong. My mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, both Libras, and they're literally, their birthday is a day after each other. I love, love, love Libras. But it's just the way of how some people move in that nature. It's so different.
We're getting into dessert. It's dessert time.
Mm-hmm.
Yummy.
So that one right there, though.
This box?
No, under where they put the sauces.
Oops.
Yeah. It's okay. There you go. So
oh my goodness.
Rice pudding. See how this goes.
Or no. We can just put it at the bottom of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I want to try this. This is the mango lassi.
Mango lassi?
Juice and coconut milk, I think. Can you try or no?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm going to let the food settle and do the tea.
I want to try
the
this
coconut milk kind of did it for me. I'm like, no, I've been nauseous the last few days.
Whoa. Good. I'm not saying it's not.
It smells very strong.
It's thick. Really, really thick. It's really good, but really thick.
So we're doing a blend of teas. We've got some mint, we've got lemon ginger, and then we've got some green berry.
Ooh, green berry.
Yeah, green blueberry. Green tea, blueberry tea.
Yes.
So we're blending the strains of teas. I'm obsessed, absolutely obsessed with tea. Kay knows that it's like a dream of mine to have a tea garden and just have nothing but butterflies floating around and playing the harp outside. It is a vibe.
Yeah,
It's a vibe.
Imagine how good it would smell, how peaceful it would be, and then having someone come. And I always love the center of the cups. They have the little butterflies in it. I swear.
Shout out to Bonnie. She was a coworker that I worked with at my last job I just talked about. She gave me these. I love coming into people who are so observant that they really kind of think about what they're going to give you. Think about you. Like, people are so sensitive, and I love that. I love that. And I feel like we should bring more of that out of ourselves, you know?
Yes.
Be more in tune with one another. Observe each other. I was just talking to somebody the other day. We can't simply make eye contact half the time.
Well, and it is so weird because it's something that is like the first thought is to look away. And it's something that's a learned behavior, something that you either see constantly in your region or you just keep going, or, you know, just how if it's a moment of aggression. If you stare at someone too long, then you're being
I'd say
rude.
it's suppressed emotion. It is like, in many ways, it is nothing more than the suppressed emotion. Like, don't stare at me too long, don't look through me kind of thing. You know how they say the eyes are the window to the soul?
Yeah.
So, like, people like to keep things dry and professional. We love this word professionalism. We're so conditioned to a professionalism that if we're staring at one another, it has to be, hi, how are you doing? No place I'd rather be, you know, like, would you like me to do this or would you like me to do that? And that's as simple as our conversations go. And that way you never really get to me, but what I need to do for you at this time. You know, again, turning it back to the person
And it's
more
so
than it's about
dry.
yourself.
It's so dry. It's so dry. It's not allowing yourself to come in the center. Because I know a lot of people, they don't want to be able to give themselves away or give that emotion away. But sometimes you have to be able to open up and take in what's around you so you can really understand what's going on in the world, what's going on in life, because you might miss a gift that's meant for you. Right. But you miss so much because you close yourself off. You can't do that.
Right. What should I get at 9 first?
Oh my God. Yes, spoon. Let's see. So this is rice, but it's really loose. I'm really worried about this. I think it has saffron in it. I love saffron, don't get me wrong, but saffron is expensive as hell.
So one of my biggest triggers about professionalism, right, is that they put that much effort into us maintaining our relationships at work, but we don't think about how much we don't maintain the relationships at home, right? We spend, most of my motivation for wanting to work independently has been the fact that I'd like to spend more time with those that I share blood with, that I share a feeling of love for, you know, just because we're working as a unit to unfold something that we need to bring it back home, you know? It's so weird how we're trained as a society to leave all of our feelings and things that go on at home at the door, but the minute we go home, how much of your work can you really leave at the door?
Exactly.
Because it's like, it's an anticipation. It's when so much is unknown for us individually, this is what we do know. That we will clock in the next day, we will perform our expected duties, and so that doesn't give us the peace of mind that we need in order to be the producer ourselves.
And it's also that wonderment of when you are entering in work, you're entering in doing different things, and you have to leave all that stress that you're supposed to leave at work, let it fall away, but it carries with you, especially when you're around so many vibrations and mindsets and everything, and you take it with you, and then you're coming in collecting your children or picking up your significant other, brother, sister, mother. You're taking on their vibes from work. How much is all of that coming in on one place? The issues from school, the issues from college, the issues from work or wherever. And say it's a household of the perfect four, the husband, the wife, the two children. And everybody's going through their own separate stressors. How much of it is that release, and is that balance put in to help you understand yourself and to understand getting through what you've been through to decompress? Or are you just holding it in to go along another day monotonously? Or even if we have our bachelors and bachelorettes, you're coming home alone, who helps you decompress? You have yourself, obviously, but what's something that helps you release that stress and that upliftment for one another? Because again, we're not in this alone.
Right.
We're not meant to be doing this alone. I know most of you call your homegirl, your homeboy, call your parents, siblings.
To vent.
To
help hold space.
But still, that's sending
right
to someone else. So what are we doing to let that go?
Right.
Because it's a lot of the stuff that's going on in this world these days is all about pent up frustrations and angers. This is essentially why so many people get hurt based on shootings, because they're holding in the things that happen. And I just had that conversation with children this morning.
Right.
Because we were talking about it. Like there was a picture that came up on my YouTube channel about the little boys who did the shooting in was it Tennessee?
Yeah.
It was Tennessee. And
I'm not sure. I live under a rock.
It was one of the states, and his parents took off.
Wow. The
parents took off because of the jokes that they were texting their son. The things that they were texting their son. You know what?
Wow.
No, communication is key. Finding peace within self and for those around you is key, because we need harmony.
Right.
Harmony.
Right.
That's what we all fail to have, because society has done its utmost best to weed out harmony. But
desensitize.
There we go. Yes.
Our society has done its best to desensitize. Can I tell you my biggest trigger is the mask? Like the mask and the vaccines, right? I'm not anti, but I am pro-choice. And so the vaccines and the mask have been a big trigger of mine, because I mean, we are covering the smiles, we are covering the fact that we can really touch each other. Like, forget your five senses, because that's the gift in life, is what you can feel. But we're not even using our five senses anymore. All we're really gifted to use is our eyes, which is the funny thing that I feel like if you want to call them the inorganic ones, as Ralph would say, is that they're really training us not to it's like a joke, because you should be able to see how a person feels through the window, but unfortunately we can't, because we're not tuned into ourselves enough to even be tuned into another. And that level of compassion is necessary in order for our own personal development, because I mean, we've talked about different ways to exert the negative energy. But let's talk about the other ways. There's smoking, there's drinking, there's retail therapy, there's overeating.
Yes.
There's so many ways that we are overindulging in order to get past the suppression of our emotional and mental health as a collective, And so I really would like to see us move past that in this next year of 2022. The year of 222.
Yes,
where a lot of divine partnerships will come together, a lot of balance will be created, and the balance is really just going to level the playing field. There is going to be a half here that is still working out its karmic debt, cool, and then another half that's going to be guiding the collective into blending as one.
But
right?
we all have our shadow side and our light side. So there's something that is going to be continuous. It's something that we're still learning, regardless of the shadow works that we have to do. how to, again, engage in love and light. You still moving in a loving, caring way. Even if you need to take a minute, I am not in a high vibration right now. I'm not in what I need to be right now, so I'm going to take a step back. Or just to go ahead and let your vibe and your light shine bright and send it to someone else, because you never know in this world who may need that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your kind words, your good mornings, your how are you doing, I hope that you have a wonderful day, I love your hair, that could be that little nugget, the little key into giving somebody a happier time, because they don't know how to get out of the darkness. And that's another thing that I've also learned. A lot of people that are in a negative light, they come towards those that are in a lighter being because they don't know how to get there. And it angers them because they're stuck in such a mindset. But love them anyway.
Right.
Love them anyway. Love and care anyway. You don't have to be close. You don't have to stay. But love enough to keep it going. Because you don't need to lower that vibration for anyone else.
Right. I love that you said that, because we really do need to notice the power we have in helping each other, like literally holding out the hand and saying, okay, today's my weak day, today's your strong day. And it's going to shift. And we do that all the time.
All the time.
You know, I'm having a bad day, I call Kay. Because who do I know is going to just know in her awareness that she's just literally holding the shadow.
Yep.
Like, forget what Mel says. Not take it personally, because I say some things, okay? Gemini moon, and when I talk, I just talk, okay?
Let it out.
And
but
let it out.
But let them let out in a safe place. One thing that I do have to implore, when you do vent, when you do let out, make sure that you're letting out to a safe place, not just anywhere. And it's not about, oh, this person knows my business, and they're going to tell Sammy, Joe, and Lisa. Let out in a safe place that you know that this flow that you're getting, you're receiving it. Just because you're having a low vibrational moment, you had to release that negative, because that person's going to replenish. And even in doing that same thing of replenishment, they're going to help transmute any of the negative, because they're not holding it. They're not holding on to your negative. They're learning, let me open the window. Let me burn my sage real quick. Let me breathe. And then help you get to that same status and Stacy's in mind and self. Because, my dear, we're not meant to stay in negative. We don't do that. We're happy here.
But with that being said, there is nothing wrong with the dark energy, right? The dark energy is very good in itself too, because it is about shifting, being able to embody the energy that our adaptable signs naturally have, and being able to shift from light to dark, because I say the dark is good, because just like an animal in the wilderness has its ability to be cute and fuzzy, it also has its ability to snap and kill if it needs to, you know, because they're there to protect themselves as well, just like we are. We cannot always assume that because someone responds in a not light-bodied way that they're always wrong. Half the time, they could be right for the circumstance that they're in, you know? And if we had more compassion as a society, we could be able to start to see where they could come about acting this way.
Yes.
Right? And that's our way of expanding, realizing that we can put two and two together before we're quick to cause or call Judgment Day and say, well, you know, I can't believe so-and-so would do this or so-and-so would do that.
And it's like, but we're still all human. We still all go through the positives and negatives, because we're building and moving in a way that is to help us express, how am I going to put this? Building in a way to help us express understanding the light within self and the light, how to share said light. So even if we can let that shadow side pop up, there's one meme. I always bring it back to a meme because they're funny and they work.
They're relatable.
Very relatable.
A lot of people are just searching through the internet. They're relatable.
So I'm from Florida. As you can see, a very sweet person, but I'm also a mom. That means if you wake the lioness up, oh, I'll snap real quick. So I am all love and light, but I can and will light your house up. Which one do you want?
Again, polarities are good, right? Because we have to be our own divine feminine, divine masculine, because we were talking about the twin flame journey, right? I'm glad that we didn't stick on it, because a lot of people can get stuck, myself included. But it's more so about the male and female within yourself that represent that action and that creation, you know, and then they blend together to make the most beautiful aspects of our life.
So I'm gonna pull 3 decks out. Actually, three to 4.
So now we're getting into our collective reading. I'm gonna do my typical 6-card spread. I like to read for sun and moon signs because I read for personal development. If you don't know, you should know at least these 2 aspects of your chart, because if you're tuned into this channel, you're going to learn that you learn more about yourself. And when you're more into finding your inner self, you can recognize your outer self a lot more, okay? And so please know your sun and moon signs. They have this nice site that if you like Google both of them together, you can read a little aspect about yourself. Like mine says I'm a creative. I found it to be like 110%. Shout out to my Sagittarius who told me about it in 2018.
Ow.
You're a real one, because I've been using that forever. And I've been so grateful to have these souls that come into my life in all types of ways, you know, to help me expand as a reader, as a light worker, and yeah, it's just been great. It's fun. It's fun. It takes you through all emotions. It takes you through all of the emotions, and you get to truth. Like when everything dies and everything settles through. She just showed the death card and then the Ace of Swords.
I'm like,
you're smacked in the face with the truth. Like, oh,
every time, and it is something that you can't back down no matter what you do. It's gonna stay there. It's gonna stick.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm so hot again. Woo! I get really hot when I channel. I don't know about God. You guys, I know some of you are readers yourself. Like, I get this energy, and I don't know if it's because I'm an air sign, but every time I get ready to embody another person's energy, unless they're just straight water, I most of the time get really, really hot. Like, I literally start sweating.
Fire.
Yeah.
I am the
so
heat.
You are the heat.
I am the heat, so
it's not right. It's not right, because I promise, like, if I start sweating, y'all don't judge me.
It's like, I'm sorry.
Because,
honey.
Whoa, it is terrible. It is terrible. It like gives me away all the time.
It's the charge though. It's the charge that you're feeling. And when it gets hot like that, there's a strong message that's coming. And I feel that. True. So who would like to go first?
It's up to you. I think we should just like shuffle together, pull out our cards, because we do different spreads, and then we'll read based off of the feeling at that moment. If you feel propelled to like start, then start. If not, then I will. But where did I put my lighter?
I thought you
Probably
put it
by the sage. Oh.
Found it. Yes. Now, sage is something that we both do our best to make sure that we fully have on deck at all times. We just bought black sage last weekend. It smells absolutely stunning. But I blend my sage. With rose petals, rosemary, lavender, and white sage. That way you're getting the full realm to cleanse, to bring in peace and soothing, to bring in remembrance, as well as to bring in love. Because with all of our crystals that's here, we have it so we can protect, so we can understand, so we can grow, so we can bring solitude, ground. And on my tarot space, there's crystals everywhere. I'm Crystal K, love. Crystals are all over my house. But it's a joy, and it's a connection that I have and I build with.
I'm really only connected to opals. If you want to gift me some, I'd be so grateful. Because apparently you're not supposed to buy them, okay, for yourself.
Girl,
Apparently
you're not supposed to, but I definitely bought me a fire opal a few years back, but I cannot wear that piece. Okay, this was in my designing stages. I do have an Instagram. It's crystaldesigns_by K. And if you scroll to the very bottom, those
follow
were
her channel.
Yes, thank you, and I'll definitely follow back. Those are the pieces that I designed. I came up with the design, but I had the people at the beading store, they'll put it together for me. And that's when I learned how to make little stretchies and things like that. So things that I want to do next is continuing my learning within wire wrapping and then eventually get into silversmith or goldsmith, things like that. So I can really make high quality jewelry and really put those in because it's still something that grows.
Not my tea.
Ooh,
Smells so good.
yes, it does. This is the black sage. Oh my gosh, the vibrations.
I'm telling you, it smells so
The
good.
vibrations from this though, and I feel so alight right now.
Yep, definitely ascending. So we can get this clear message for a majority of you that come to the channel.
Yes.
Hoping to offer you some peace and clarity. I know for some of you with the solar eclipse that this was a really hard time to push through. And if you made it, you made it. Good for you because it was a struggle. Mel slept like a bear, okay? I tapped out.
She went in hibernation.
Tapped out.
She went in hibernation.
It was a no-no. I didn't know until after the fact that while the evil prevails, you should not be in bed sleeping. You should actually be trying to find ways to push through the energy, maybe doing yoga, dancing, exercising.
Definitely. I think the biggest thing with this eclipse, I really had to work on self, and it's more so of the mind. I'm very passionate, very creative, so that's a lot within my base and solar plexus. But I'm still working on my third eye. I'm still working on my crown chakra because there's so much opening within self, and I definitely have to work on my my solar because that's willpower. And I know who I am. I'm very empowered by who I am. But in that same standpoint, I still have to know, hey, it's okay. It's just fine. So we're not going to worry.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm so grateful that I have this massive table, but it's still not enough room for all of our jazz right now.
I know. Okay. I'm going to pull from
Next time on Friday, we have a special treat that I haven't even introduced Kay to yet.
Oh.
We're going to do a little arts and crafts together. So basically, we're going to get little jars and do a little spell work. It's not really a spell, guys. It's just a little arts and crafts. We're going to, I think the ingredients, little jar, some amethyst that we have to go to the store for. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it in the comment box down below. That way, those of you who tune in with us on Friday next week can do it with us if you're here for the live. If you're not, definitely do it afterwards. And you can still embody every bit of energy that we have flowing through this connection and then dispersing to all of you, because we want you to feel all the light and love every time you come to the channel. Next time, we're probably going to jump on Kay's channel. And please make sure you follow her. Subscribe to Crystal K's Journey.
Crystal K's Journey. And then rice. For next week, make sure you bring dry rice. Rice is going to be something that we need also.
Okay.
So that, especially with putting things together with different crystals, different herbs, rice, putting a couple of grains of rice in there too would actually be really, really good, because I actually worked with my mother-in-law. She taught me this and got the Chinese pennies that you have, said a prayer and put it in small containers with rice and hid them through my home to bring prosperity and unity. So
Nice.
try that. Scam likely. No, thank you.
And we can push this back so that we have room for the cards.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a star spread, the same one that I did for you last night.
Okay, sweet. Kay did a reading for me yesterday that was so much life. Because like I said, guys, I was in a dark, dark space. Like, pull me out.
Help me!
It was, whew,
Need the escape rope.
it was awful, but it's always nice once you, like we were talking about, you're on the journey for a little while and you have these wonderful, beautiful souls that you resonate with. Sometimes they happen to be people you've known for a while, you know, and you're like, whew.
I've known Mel for years, decades, over a decade.
Right, hey, don't age us. Just kidding.
We're timeless. Remember that.
That part, we are timeless. We are. I love that. That's my favorite word.
There's no age
You are
limits to
still
this.
my soul track. That is my favorite word.
Yes.
Timeless.
Timeless, dear. Timeless. We are infinite between time and space because it's all an illusion. It's all an illusion.
I'm needing more tea because, oh, that food. Oh, we did it.
I ate like a grown man, so
I
I ate until I'm full, but I didn't overeat because I could definitely go for more. But I gotta do reading, so I want to make sure that we're in the right space. Okay. We got this. We got this.
I will make it through the reading.
Yes, we got this. Oh, I love this. And there's one more deck. It's
I
one of
love
the two.
this.
Yes,
Like
that's
a
the
seashell.
it's the seraphinite, and I actually got that as a gift. So I order from Kim K Crystals all the time.
Shout out Kim K.
Kim K Crystals, she
Not
does.
Kim Kardashian. Kim K.
Kim K Crystals. Kim K Crystals, and the crystal spelled with a K. You can go on her website. She's absolutely phenomenal. But this is where I got most of my larger pieces from.
Nothing wrong with Kim
Definitely
K. I don't know.
She can speak for herself. But yeah, I love my egg that I got.
Whoa.
I got a huge heart over there. Flower agate heart. And then, this is one of my favorite ones here. Got my skull. I got my sodalite skull.
You know, I've never been drawn to skulls. Like, in my spiritual awakening, I'm still not drawn to it. I don't find it cute.
Skulls, dragons, and owls.
Dragons.
Dragons,
Owls.
definitely.
I would
Oh my
actually
gosh.
love to have an owl.
I would want a hawk. And I figured out, yeah, I'm weird. I got it. It's okay. I finally figured out what bird it was. So a couple months back, I had this encounter happen twice. I was driving my car, heading home, and a big old bird just flew in front of my car and flashed its wings and belly directly in front of my windshield, just flew off. I'm like, there's a meaning for that. And I'm like, I don't know if it was a hawk or if it was a falcon, because their bellies to me look very similar, but it was a hawk, because hawks are bigger than falcons, and falcons are like this, but hawks are like that, and it was a hawk. And it happened twice. Hawks are my favorite predatory bird in the world. So if I had to have any of those birds, it'll be a hawk. Second to that is a tawny owl. Those are just like so I actually drew one.
Get the animal tarot then, since we're talking about animals.
It's up to you.
Yeah, might as well. Let's just go. This is like
This
for
guy.
fun. So what we're gonna do is just, we want to reach everybody.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a message for everybody.
So I did pull 4 decks, but one deck I'm only using one card, just like I was talking about the affirmation of the day. I've already got it. It's right here in front of us. So when it's time that we really, go towards everything, then I will go ahead and speak on it. I haven't pulled my oracle yet because I don't know which one to use just yet. I'm kind of torn between two, but I will know by the end of the reading. That's the deck that I'll grab once I know for sure. Because I go by vibrations and go by senses and feelings, so I know exactly what to do. Because it's just, once I get lost in it, it's effortless. Okay, so we are going to definitely sing bowls. Got my favorite color, which is the green that we have there. And then I've always wanted a brass thing. Well, hers is blue.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty. And I mean, it's stunning color. Like, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
Very nice.
they're great quality.
Midnight Sun.
Yes.
For those of you who are in Duval.
And for those that are not, you can actually order. You can order online and they'll ship.
I'm so mad I said that really pretty. You're not pretty.
I'm done.
I didn't represent the city, man.
Oh, Lord. I represent everything about the city except the German.
Okay. So, join in with us as we clear the energy. The note is to feel the internal opening, right? Because everyone has a different tune. So as you feel and receive this, you should feel yourself being like almost attuned, like you tune an instrument. We're tuning our own vibration.
Yes.
Okay? Namaste. Awesome. This is.
I felt that go down my arm and then I felt a whole charge just go through my senses. This feels really, really good.
I feel like we reached another level with this. I definitely felt it too.
Yes.
Like I felt so calm in that moment, just so at peace.
That's why I stopped. Like when I felt that jolt and I felt all of that come up, like, okay, it's time to really start with the breathing and allow that to just flow.
Right.
Everlasting.
And you'll know when to stop. It just kind of pulls to you. It's like, okay, release. And then you release. All right, so those of you who stuck it out this long, you're a real one. We chatted it up, but we talked about some good stuff, you know. For those of you who just came for the reading, we'll timestamp it. We will go ahead and timestamp the collective reading for those of you who just want to do a quick watch, because we know a lot of people don't have hours upon hours to spend on the channel. But if you do happen to, please go ahead and try to listen to a majority of it. I think it's very relatable. Each and every Friday, we're going to try to do this for you, mukbang, and little arts and crafts.
Yes.
We're going to like get better and better at this.
Talk times, tea times.
Yes.
I love it. Oh, wow.
Ooh, the lovers.
Yes. The cards that actually have shown for this journey is just absolutely amazing. Just wait till you see this one. I can't wait till you see that one. Oh, the outcome. All right, guys. One thing I gotta say about the collective, especially going into your journey, don't dwell too close to the veil. So don't be too close to things where you can't see. Don't pay attention on one spot. Backtrack a little bit so you can see the bigger, higher picture, because you're stressing your own self out with things that are just not meant to be or not true. So
don't skip steps. It's never a good thing.
Trust the process.
Especially not on the ladder of ascension.
Ooh.
You don't want to skip a step.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to start or you want me to start?
Whichever you want to do.
Okay. It's up to you.
Who started the last time?
I did.
Okay, so I'll start this time. So, looking in for the collective, the first card that I pulled, of course, was from the Good Tarot. That was this deck that I pulled. And the card that came out was the Nine of Wands. So yes, there's tension. Yes, there's frustration. Yes, there's pain that you've been dealing with in your life, in your circumstances, within family. But it's time that you scale back. Stop being so close. Sometimes you're not seeing the full picture, or things not becoming clear because you're so close into what you want it to be. You got to go further than that. So let's get this affirmation really quick, and then I'll go right into the reading. All right, so for Nine of Fire, Nine of Wands, it says caution, uncertainty, reevaluating circumstances. Thank you. Thank you all day for giving me my tea. Okay, I need to stop and wait and look around before proceeding further. My senses of uncertainty is my inner wisdom telling me to bring illumination to my situation, to allow insight and arise and guide me before I take my next step. Questioning is good. I will look carefully to see if there's a different path, maybe right in, that may be right for me at this point. Now, your energy for the collective I got is the Lovers. That actually came in sideways. Now, we know that with the Lovers, it is a divinely guided union. It is something that's coming together, that's trusting and loving and caring. But maybe there's something that's going on. I'm hearing trickery, something that you may think is trickery, or something that is not clear to the situation. There's something that you're missing. There's a piece, a nugget, and it's like, well, where am I? Well, what's going on? Where is this balance in self? Okay. Take a step back and stop overthinking, because you're possibly thinking that there's a union or a bond, and I'm feeling possibly work, maybe a partnership, this grand divine partnership, and it's not going the way that you planned or you both planned. But at this point, I would definitely put in the standpoint of stop being so focused on the whole outcome of things. Stop being so focused on, oh, this is the big piece that we're looking for. Scale back. Have you even looked at your journey? Have you even watched what's around you as you're walking the path to get you where you are? Because so many people are trying to get to the finish line. They don't see their surroundings. So many lessons in the surroundings because they're so focused and tunnel vision towards something. What you're seeking is going to come to you in due time. It's going to come to you as it should, the way that it should, but it's time for you to really nurture. And when it's time to nurture, it's time to nurture self, because you're too filled with goal-oriented things. You're bypassing said emotions. You're bypassing so much inner work that needs to be done, because this journey is to help you build in that. So when you step into the finish line, you're even more emotionally and mentally mature to get where you're supposed to be. Because there's a leap of faith that you're supposed to be taking that you're nervous to take. You're questioning taking this leap of faith. But have you fully learned your lesson before you even get to your leap of faith? This could be in marriage. This could be in friendship. Who knows? I had a card that wanted to fly but didn't, and it's the Four of Pentacles. There are times where there is lack. There's time when there's fumbles, but are you willing to build past that? Are you willing to strengthen the hardships that are being faced now, where you have to go through tough times financially, emotionally, spiritually, times at work, times with friends, times in relationship? Are you willing to build past that, or are we playing the blame game? Is that something that you truly want to do? Okay. You too. So I asked the Truth, and it asks for help. You got the Knight of Swords, and then you also got the Seven of Swords reversed. It's time for you to take action. It's time for you to bring mental clarity, to bring focus on what you're supposed to be learning. Not focus on the goal. Your goal is already solidified. Things will come to you when it's supposed to. But it's time for you to focus on your journey. Focus on this pathway of getting to the end game, because love that you seek is yours. Two of Cups. I told you were going to be happy when you saw that.
Card.
Favorite card is the Two of Cups. So this card is also coming in sideways. The love cards are coming in sideways because I think it's more so fear that you are you're allowing to be shaken, because that's the end game right there. Love is the end game. But have you fully healed, matured, and grown to reach that goal?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you looking at the past pains that you once felt, that you once gone through before you can even get to where you're looking to go? Did you really actually get there? I think that you're on your way, but there's some things that you need to work on. Because
Mel's killing this tea. I am.
And
I kill the tea every time.
it's so good.
I'm such a tea drinker. I'm sorry. It's like you hear thoughts in between, and sometimes I say it.
Come through.
Ooh,
I love it.
that one made me feel something.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
Woo.
Wow.
And 4 cards.
Story.
Yes, huge story.
A story within. Oh my goodness.
You definitely have some abundance coming to you, dear. This one. And it came right back. And it came right back.
Whoa,
and it
awesome.
came right back.
Right again at the bottom.
Right again. Look at that.
My other favorite.
Oh my God. This is just beautiful.
And the artwork on these cards are awesome. We'll kind of show you a little bit of it.
Okay. 7 of Swords. Ouch. Knight of Swords. Ooh, come through balance. Oh, see, it came back out. A lot of the cards that I've seen, they're coming back. So it's time to put in work. It's time to really understand and facet yourself to developing.
Mm-hmm.
We're done with cocoons. We're done with caterpillars. It's time to fly. And stop being afraid to soar. Stop being afraid of flight. Because with the Lovers coming in sideways, this doubt, you have the 10 of Swords and you have the Death card. It's time for repurpose. It's time for transformation and renewal. We're ending the doubt, ending the fear, ending what's not meant to be for you, because, oh, 6 of Swords and Queen of Swords, yes! With the Wheel of Fortune is all about things coming in divine timing.
Yeah.
So when you're ready for things to come into divine timing, you have to openly understand, and you have to take progression, and you have to be the one to say, I actually want this. And don't talk about it, baby, walk about it. If you're seriously wanting something, 6 of Swords, you get in your boat and you sail off. Bye-bye. Shoo-shoo, I'm out. With the Queen of Swords, a very strong, intelligent, delegated woman. Queen of Swords, air sign here. Somebody that knows, hey, I gotta strategize. I gotta put my mind towards this. I want it, so I gotta really go for the things that I want.
And don't be afraid to sever ties, you know?
Cut.
Anything that doesn't serve, that's what the Queen of Swords is about. She cuts it with no mercy.
So the Queen of Cups, that right there, that's that nurturement that I was talking about. Nurturing, caring self. This came with 4 cards here. You got the Ace of Cups. Pure unconditional love. Pure serenity. reaching through phases and getting through those hardships so you can come together and make a full collective understanding of this is exactly what I need and what I want in self. So this is the cup that I need to feel. This is the cup that I need to have overflowing, because this Ace of Cups is me. This is my love and the love for me that I have to share with myself, because I can't fill someone else's cup with an empty cup.
Right.
You got to fill it yourself and have your cup overflowing. And if your cup can't match mine or fully understand mine, then you can't come over here, because I don't need someone taking from me if they're not filling themselves.
Right.
And then with that, you have the Three of Swords. Nurture and heal yourself from past pains so you can get your Ace of Cups. You have true pair situation on the table, King to Queen of Swords. It's time for you to bring justice and stature to self, because once you get there, Three of Cups, there's your reconciliation to truly get to where you need to be. The Nine of Wands came back. That leap of faith, full card, that leap of faith can't come to you unless you actually fight for yourself. You can't let these distractions, you can't let this pain, you have to be harmonic. You have to be willing to fight and to grow and take the chance. Take the chance and say, okay, I don't know how, when, or why I'm going to make this happen, but it's going to happen. But you got to put action towards it so that seed is planted. A tree can't grow from dirt. It has to be planted by a seed. Go ahead and plant your seed and water it. Keep it going. Because once you do, there's the sun. Sun card, Leo. And then, like I said, it came back. That Lover's card that was sideways is now upright. And then it came with the Knight of Wands. Again, we have more fire coming in. Because all this past pain, Five of Wands, this loss, we're above that. We're having abundance over what we lost. We lost things to gain our abundance. We lost things that were not meant to go into the next phase. So with the Two of Cups, you have it with the Ten of Pentacles and the High Priestess. There's going to be a strong, abundant unity, a bond, a love, a care, something that you sought out for. It's already yours, as I said. It'll come to you, but you have to be the one brave enough to accept that you are worthy. Look at you with the Six of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. There's a lot of nostalgia that you had. Nostalgia that has come from pain, and a nostalgia that's come from greatness. Take the pain, learn from it, build yourself up, and then go and keep those happy memories of what was, because now you're going into what is. So when it comes to the Seven of Swords reverse, put in work, Three of Pentacles. Fight. Understand and know, hey, I'm not going to be beholden to all of the issues that I have. I'm going to make it better. I'm going to grow. I'm going to start building something new. Something no one's seen before because they weren't prepared for it. And that, my dear, Two of Pentacles. That's where your balance comes in. And it came with the Knight of Swords because you're fighting for yourself. Because when you fight for yourself and you have that true love, growth, and appreciation for yourself, that is when that divine love, that finish line, exactly what you've been fighting for, that's when it comes to you. Divine timing. And I finally figured out what oracle deck I'm going to use. This is the Star Temple. I love this deck. I was torn between two.
So beautiful.
I
love the
absolutely
image
love this
where
deck.
the artwork on this deck is just amazing. Show them the back of the card. It's everything with the universe.
Yes,
like,
it is.
in the back.
The back is full universe. Look at that.
So much awesomeness I feel from that.
And it's like you're
like
getting
a
caught in the
portal.
cosmos. Yes.
It's like a portal. It goes perfectly mature.
Yes, I love this.
I don't think I'll change them. I was thinking about changing the color, but I'm so in love with the purple. Because, you know, I wanted the green couch and like the pink. And I was worried that the pink was going to clash with the purple, but
Nah.
maybe it'll just be a whole bit of color up in here. But what else do you expect?
But I think that it's just a different phase from one room to the next.
Right. You're right. You're right. Wow.
Ooh,
I love this card.
Yes! So this one is the Amazon Queen. She is a warrior. She's ready for battle. I love this one. So Amazon Queen, battle. I am a devoted warrior of the universe. I am a devoted warrior of the universe. I am a devoted warrior of the universe. You are ready for battle.
I love her positioning in that.
Yes, the strength in her.
And there's like a resonance in her. Just
pure confidence, pure understanding of self. Yes.
Like silent confidence.
And it's time that you have that built up strength strongly within yourself. Because you have the strength to build where you need to go. You know what you want in the finish line, but let the journey and the surroundings of what's going on in that journey strengthen the Amazon in you. Because at the end of the day, we know Amazonians are women. But there is one thing about women. We are truly strong creatures. Where a lot of people say, men are the strong ones, the women are the weak ones. No. That's what society says. That's what something that's implemented. No. There's a strength in both sides. We have our male, masculine. We have our female, feminine.
Within ourselves.
And we are strong.
Mm-hmm.
So let's build that within yourself. So you can be ready for what's to come. Because once that gets there,
right,
that finish line is not the end.
Right.
It's just going on to the next phase. So get through this pass so you're ready to go to the next phase.
Right. Awesome. All right. So let's get into merging our timelines.
Yes.
Doing our typical 6-card spread, right? So at the bottom of the deck, our overall energy is not stepping into the opportunity just yet of rebuilding. So a lot of who I'm reading for today is recognizing something that they're feeling for, but not ready to step into that where they can actually tangibly have it just yet, right? I think we're still building the vision ourselves, still trying to feel it. Our environment energy is the Queen of Cups in reverse. So what that says to me is that for a majority of us, we're still holding our feelings to ourselves. She represents the woman of empathy. The Queen of Cups is also Cancer. She feels for her community, feels for her collective. I feel like right now, you're more so turning this feeling within yourself. So you may come across to most people around you as if you're insensitive. But again, I feel like that insensitivity comes from you trying to turn more of it inwards and say, let me rebuild myself. Maybe it's not coming in a very light body way right now. A lot of us may be purging, going through the dark night, going through some tears, because this is water, right? And all water is good, whether we're doing a lot of oceans, rivers, just to get our body flowing. And that flow that we embody as we get into these big bodies of water, or even getting into our tubs, right, is literally just creating a flow within our internal fabric that we're not allowing in the element of water, right? So the rest of the reading, might I add, is unknown to us. And I think that's because the divine would like us to put more of the awareness on ourselves first before everything else. But as you know, the first one comes out as our ego. So I think a lot of us are saying it's okay to care about me. I don't care how you feel about me caring about me, but I'm caring about me. Okay? And then, so we're going into the heart space, which is the Tower reversed, right? So this is Scorpio energy. Again, talk about 2 water signs, right? We've got now the mom and the dad of water, right? Divine feminine, divine masculine. So I think this is about, again, the internal divine masculine within ourselves. that male and female coming together to try to become one before we create that existence without ourselves, with external from ourselves, okay? Because a lot of us, the goal is union, yes, but union within self first, right? Most importantly, because we come in alone and we die alone, right? Because I think that divine channel must be secured within ourselves independently. If God calls you to do something, he's going to speak to you. He won't speak to your partner, he's going to speak to you, okay? And so he's going to ask the strongest of the two to stand firm in what he's channeling, right? So you want to make sure your message with the divine is like the most high, the most strong. If before you're looking for your partner to say yes or no, you're looking for the divine to say yes or no. They are the ones that we're aligning ourselves to, allowing ourselves to embody the yes and no's through the signs and symptoms, right? Man has manipulated a lot of things. And we recognize the signs and symptoms in our roads, right? Red light, green light, yield sign, stop sign. We recognize those signs. Now we're being challenged to recognize the signs within our internal fabric, the one that God created, the one that's going to say, don't do this, that gut feeling, and those that are going to be like, do this, that intuition, right? So you're awakening that intuition. And also the tower in our heart is telling me that there's something that we're holding on to out of choice. And we're like, no, no, no. I'll let go of everything. This is like, I'll clear out my entire closet. But this red dress, no girl, I need this red dress, okay? So please make note of even that red dress has got to go because it's a part of the past and it doesn't serve you anymore. If you wore it 2 good times, if you took a few good pictures in it, consider it done, okay? Served. So let's go ahead and go to the influence of the reading, karma. Wow, so we have our karma in reverse right now. So a few of us may be stepping back into a cycle that we are so familiar. God darn it, we took that right turn and it's the same turn we took the last 2 times, but we didn't notice it then. And maybe we're noticing it now and it's triggering you because like, darn it, I did not want to take the right, I meant to take the left. But somehow you stumbled upon the right because something in the road was unfamiliar. And so before you can level up and ascend, like we were talking about earlier, you don't want to skip a step on the ladder, okay? It does us no good, just like it does us no good to not study properly for the test. It does us no good to not fully understand the experiences we went through, okay? So you are going to loop it back time and time again because in ascending, it's opposite of what we think. It's not past, it's future. It's merging timelines, okay? It's all together. It is all, time is the illusion. So you'll go around and around and around before you can go up, okay? So right now we're doing that. We are going to go back through a cycle, but we're infinite beings. So please rest assured that if you are stuck in a cycle that's uncomfortable, that you're not excited to be doing it again because it looks familiar, doesn't feel good, please rest assured that's plenty of more time ahead of you. There's plenty more time for you to absolve yourself of this uncomfortable cycle. So as you get into your current energy, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is again reaffirming that yes, there is something that we just didn't understand. There's something that we have not fully downloaded within ourselves to allow ourselves to ascend as a collective, okay? And that's not to punish us, but to make us fully aware, because you don't want to get into a group of people, right? Let's say we're going to make a speech and we're excited about making this speech. But how unexcited would you be if you got to the point of the stage and you didn't know what you needed to say? You didn't have a full understanding of what you needed to say. So please let us all collectively thank the divine that we do take time going back and back and back through some cycles so that we can fully understand just why we're doing this. You know, before we start to open our mouth and come from such an egotistical place that we as human beings naturally get to. We naturally get to this place where I know. Take it from the Aquarius, right? I know. But before you get up there and make a darn fool out of yourself, thank the divine that he'll make sure you know what you're talking about, especially if you're speaking on his behalf, right? So our future energy is going to be the brother of wind. Talk about this speech, talk about the delivery of communication. This is Gemini energy, talking about understanding, adapting, right? So in a fluid way of, or effective way of communicating to the collective, meaning the most that you have an influence on, you're going to learn how to adapt to the change and effectively communicate that change, right? And that is nothing more but our connection with the divine. It's sitting right underneath the Tower card, so we'll go ahead and merge the timelines in just a few because there's a special note with that. But then on top of this, for your advice card, you have the Emperor, right? So for a lot of you, I'm feeling like we're reading for a majority of you that are like ourselves. They're spiritualists, right? You are looking for the day where you're going to take your dark times and shine brighter than the sun, okay? Because it's our turn. Let's say for the chosen ones out there, because a lot of you are the ones watching the channel, you felt in a dark place for a while. You felt misunderstood, mistreated by a lot of people that you felt like would support you, would be there for you, to understand you. But because you're not created for a world like this, you were naturally pushed away. Okay, so you could go along a journey by yourself to really embody the understanding that you needed in effectively communicating this adaptation for the human collective, right? Because it's about all of us. When we speak for all of us and not speak for ourselves. And that's how we know we're coming from a deep, deep level of love. So we're going to merge the timelines into past, present, and future. Past is going to be the fact that we've already said that we're hiding a lot of our feelings, not because we're not feeling, but because we're feeling a great deal for ourselves. And I think that we're creating a lot of accountability for the way that we feel, no longer pointing fingers and saying it's because of you, it's because of you, it's because of them, it's because of this, but understanding that the choices that we continuously make with the Wheel of Fortune, we're continuing to make these past choices today, right? Today, still making some of the very familiar right turns, right? And so we're going to come out of that with the feeling that the divine is giving us, because let's not make a mistake in saying that if you feel something, whether it's high or low, it's a gift. Because what it does is help you create a higher discernment, okay? And so you're going to get to the heart. The divine is really shaking up things for you in the most loving way. Please understand that if you're in a dark, dark place, you're there because they know you can. Okay? You're not alone. You have people like us who have been through these places. And my prayer for you, my hope for you is that you come in alignment with like-minded souls that can just pull you out and you equally shift that energy, because that is going to help you create more communication skills to how you effectively pull the collective out, right? The same way we pull each other out of dark places, we will be then using our tools, right? If you're a tarot reader, if you're a Reiki reader, if you're a crystal reader, if you are just an influencer, you know, and I don't say just, but if any form that you use of metaphysics to help heal the collective, that communication that you're gonna really understand within a very familiar, comfortable place is going to then be challenged on another aspect of you, okay? Because you'll be challenged to do it for the collective, the side of those who are in a dark place that you're not familiar with, but you'll use this great expression of love because you're familiar with it. It doesn't show up in a light body. It's not comfortable, but it's all out of love. It's all out of love, because if we didn't punish our kids, like if we didn't say, hey, I'm not happy with you today, if we didn't do that, then they wouldn't fully understand the other side of the equation. They would just think that it's always that way.
Yep.
Right? And we're not here to think it's always that way. We're here to be grateful so that more of those can come, right? And how are we grateful? We express gratitude by the way we carry ourselves and take care of others. Okay, so get ready to hold the hand of those who really don't have the understanding that you do. But because you're going through this dark time, this lonely time in your own individual reality, you are going to be able to unconditionally extend to someone else. Okay? So then, as it gets to our highest timeline, yes, karma is still at play. For some of us, we don't remember our past lives, but we signed up for this. Okay? We literally said, pick me, that's me, I'm Melanie today, I'm gonna be Melanie for this next few years. Okay? It's not personal, it's for development. Okay? And so allow channels to go through you, allow experiences to go through you, highs and lows, because we came for this. It's all a part of the experience, it's a part of the evolvement, it's a part of the joy of being. This is a gift. Let's not forget, waking up every day is a gift. Whether it's a good day, a bad day, it is always a gift, because we are being spiritually guided. We, each and every one of us, have spiritual guides. We have angels, ancestors, you name it, that are fighting with us. They're looking for us to sit here and say, hey, I need your help today. I need you to show me some signs, some synchronicities that I'm on the right path. And they're like, yes, why didn't you act sooner? We wish you act sooner. You know, and the more that you get excited about it, the more they just appear. And then you embody that sense of bliss. So we're getting into realigning our head with the Aries Emperor, right? Realigning the head of the collective by saying, yes, we're some egotistical beings, right? But we are now accountable egotistical beings, which makes it every bit more of a leveling of the playing field, right? In a place where we stepped in some muddy places out of being the victim, we're going to undo that by cleaning our shoes and then just going ahead to walk into the next spaces, maintaining a clean environment. Why? Because we're accountable. You know, we're not just saying, well, I stepped in some muddy shoes, but it's not my fault. You know, we're going to say that I'm realigning my head. I'm realigning the way I am showing up in the world. And I'm going to be a lot more courageous. I'm going to be a lot more bold and creative, because this is Aries energy. This is the cardinal. This is the one that's also appreciative of how people admire her and her creative side. Right? She also knows how to compose people very well, right? She knows that she's in leadership, right? Like we're talking about. She knows that she's going to need patience, because we pulled this oracle deck here, so I'm going to show you that. She has the patience that it's going to take in expanding, because she knows how long it took for her to get there, right? And so in being the composer of the orchestration, you know how to highlight everyone's strengths and make everyone work as a unit instead of competing in a world where we are so used to outshining one another. You're going to flip the coin and say, no, this is not about outshining, because God orchestrated this. The divine, the source, the universe divinely orchestrated this collective to work together, right? So it's not about one-ing up your partner, but learning how to work in sync. Like we read in sync, you know, it's like that. We don't outshine one another. We learn to welcome each other's gifts and help each other ascend. And everyone has a different perspective, and that perspective helps us all evolve, right? So it says be patient, okay? Light workers, be patient, starseeds. Know that your time is coming. Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. And still, they need nurturing and patience. They do. Come on, collective. It's in your environment, right? When we're turning into that feeling and saying, it's okay for you to feel, it is. Because you need the nurturing and patience, most importantly right now. You need that. And then your universe message is, when I lean towards love, I am led. Right? So we are now, again, with this, we're empty right now. If we are being accountable as a collective, as the light worker community, we have expected a lot of love from our surroundings. But like we started saying, we did not wake up because of mom, dad, employer, child, anyone else but the divine. And they woke us up for a special mission. And that mission, we have the utmost responsibility in facilitating it, okay? And so that is what we're doing. We're going to go ahead and lean on the love of the divine, reestablish that connection between our spirit guides, our ancestors, because we are infinite beings, and every expression we exert comes from a line. You know, I know that we can all see in our families that some families have a bunch of singers, some families have a bunch of cooks, some families have a bunch of athletes. And so in that paradigm, you're embodying every aspect of them, right? And then you're going to shine in the highest way. And before you know it, your collective is going to celebrate with you. They're going to put you up and they're going to say, yes, you are expressing us in a way that we are very, very happy. We applaud you. We applaud you because this helps us ascend, helps us build our vibration independently. And then when we're doing it in unison, it's collectively. And so this is what it's all about, collectively ascending. Okay, so last but not least, we do have the crocodile. Go Gators. We have the crocodile.
Bringing it back to Florida, huh?
I'm so Florida, guys. I'm nothing else but Florida, because in every other aspect, I'm very spiritual and I live under a rock. But I will never forget Duval, okay? I will never forget Florida.
What we are.
You are where you come from, and you own every aspect of it, okay? All right, so the crocodile.
Agua.
It is water?
I believe so.
Clearly.
Agua.
It definitely has to be, right?
I mean, it's aquatic, so.
It is aquatic. Water, water, water. And this is about water. We are clearly giving ourselves the love that we're lacking.
The funny thing is, we both have.
I was gonna say we're like the divine feminine masculine over here. Okay?
Yes.
We are literally blending the two.
Yes.
Somebody's holding it in and somebody's ready to express it. But until we're doing it together, there is no union. Okay? So work on it a little bit more within yourself, and then you'll start to see it come together. And before you know it, that goal is telepathy, right? You don't have to communicate. It's an understanding, right? What's understood doesn't have to be explained, right?
Thanks.
Right? So resting, submerging, collecting energy and cooling off. The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and turn inward. Okay, come through, spirit, come through. Turn inward, okay? Now is not the time for decisions, actions, or discussion. The crocodile mantra is to wait. Come through, spirit, come through. Patience is the virtue, okay? This doesn't mean lying around hoping life challenges will disappear, okay? Let's say that again because Mel read it wrong. This doesn't mean lying around hoping life's challenges will disappear, okay? This karmic road we've been on, and that right that we kept taking, and we knew it was not the right, and we're mad at ourselves because we took the right because we weren't fully paying attention, okay? Class, pay attention, okay? You don't want to take that right again, you make sure you take a note of, okay, the tree's right there, the nest is right there, there's a little chip right in the road right there. If you don't want to take that right again, then you make sure you take all the notes, okay? So, it says, the crocodile is much smarter than that, okay? Smarter. The smartest kid in the class has notes, okay, collective? So, I've never been the smartest kid in the class, so no worries.
But
Mel has taken a cycle a couple times.
But when we have that same lesson, you're going to work smarter, not harder.
Right, exactly. So, it says it means intentionally withdrawing, gathering our awareness, observing and building energy, okay? Observing and building our energy. So fill up the vital reserves so your next moves comes from a place of wisdom and power, okay? It says when you're in balance, you're wise, you're patient, and a silent powerhouse. Well, collective, we are not, okay? Let's all say we are not today, but it is okay because we came to learn, and we're going to work as a collective to bring into balance. How, you say? Well, when it's out of balance, it says feels stuck and lashes out, right? So a lot of us are lashing out. Again, well, people are saying, well, woo, aren't you just an insensitive soul today? And you're feeling the need to say, well, I'm feeling for myself. I'm lonely and I need to care for myself, doggone it. If nobody else will, then I will. You know, and the divine saying, whoa, 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 don't you yell at Susie and Tom. You need to be there for Susie and Tom, okay? They need you. If you want to yell at somebody, yell at us. Just explain it to us, you know. I always forget that I have a friend, I have a sweet friend I can relate to, I can talk to, but more importantly is that divine connection, right? So you're going to have to challenge yourself. If you're going through a dark place, please make sure you have that communication lined up. Have you spoken to God? You know, have you asked him to show you in the next few signs and sinks?
What do I do?
What do I do?
How can you help me understand?
Because that creates the patience, okay? If all of you are like, but I'm being patient.
No, you're not.
Now, the patience comes in the darkest of darkest times. When you're literally like, ugh. Like I had this when I asked Kay to do my reading. I asked her to do it on like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But I was grateful that she waited to do it because I literally had time to work through it. Like the divine was giving me a challenge and I was ready to tap in. I was like, whoa, 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 somebody give me some answers. And luckily, she didn't know, but the divine knew that they were going to orchestrate this effortlessly to the point where she responded to me about 2 days later and gave me the most beautiful reading. It was about an hour, bless her little soul, because she goes all the way for you.
Oh, yes.
I mean, Leo to the extent, okay? But I feel like that was a lesson that the divine is working, right? And if you feel in a dark place, we have all felt that we're not understood by majority. And so the divine saying it's okay because the person that you're supposed to be understood by is the person who sent you.
Yes.
On the mission, on the soul's mission.
Yes.
Okay? The soul's mission comes from within. So to bring into balance, rest, Makasana pose. I need to get on my yoga mat clearly. The Makarasana pose. Bless those of you who know what pose that is, but I will be Googling it. And it's going to say take rest. Yes. So I guess I wasn't doing the wrong thing, but...
Well, I mean, but when...
It was difficult. It was...
When going through everything,
right?
Rest is the one thing that we are absolutely trained not to do.
Oh, God, thank you.
We are trained to power through and to keep going. To where we become workaholics.
Oh, yeah.
We become adrenaline seekers, insomniacs. The one thing we never do is rest.
Yep. Talk about mental suppression, emotional suppression.
And
for that fire energy to just keep going.
And it's like it's a whole area of your space is just alive. And it's like, I need to feel that energy in a proper vessel. Right. So, yes.
This was our collective reading. For those of you who stuck through the whole entire video, bless you. You're the realest one.
Thank you.
We didn't know it was going to be this long, but we enjoyed ourselves, and hopefully you enjoyed yourself. Next Friday, we will be doing it on Kay's channel. Okay, so Crystal Kay's Journey.
Yes.
Please go ahead and follow her so that next Friday you can be tapped in for our creative project, yes, collective reading, and surprise mukbang as to what we're eating. She has the best ideas, and I go with the flow.
I don't know what we're going to do yet, but when we do,
we will do something.
Yes.
Okay? So thank you again for enjoying your sweetest moments with me, Merging Timelines, and our special guest, Crystal K. Bye.